Persona re-releases, a very controversial topic in this community. In this video I want to take a closer look at every re-release we got and list all the features they added, as well as make pro and contras to them. And at the very end, I want to briefly express my thoughts on how Atlus has been handling them. Starting with Persona 3 FES, which was released on the PS2, 1 year after the original game in Europe and North America. Before we look at what FES actually adds, let's consider the base value from the viewpoint of a Persona fan in 2008. Persona 3 came out last year on the same system, so you're basically buying the same game again, but with added features for the journey and the episode Aigis epilogue. However, it should be said that at the time of release, FES only cost €30. The features added to the base game are as follows: multiple new personas, tweaks for stats of various personas, the secret recordings from the bedrooms of various teammates, Koromaru can now be taken on walks, some social links were tweaked, a social link for Aigis has been added, some new quests have been added, new costumes that can be worn in battle were added, Naganaki Shrine was changed, and a hard mode difficulty was added. The meat of this re-release is The Answer, a 30-hour-long epilogue. Episode Aigis basically explains what happened after Persona 3's true ending. You will spend most of your time doing battles, which at the time was criticized for being difficult and just not fun. This is because Episode Aigis is set to the hardest difficulty and cannot be changed. In theory, you could have just watched a compilation of cutscenes without doing the battles, but that is what Twitter Persona fans already do. Here's my pro and contra list for the game. It's only €30, €30 less than the original release. The game adds 30 hours of playable content, so you pay €30 for the extra content and get the base game for free, technically. It adds a few nice elements to the main game, such as Aigis' social link, and also taking Koromaru on a walk, which is very important. Contra, this re-release happened just 1 year after the original's release. The game's 30 hours of added content are not what you would expect from the main game, seeing as it's just combat. Another big point is the fact that you can't change difficulty, as I mentioned prior. Of course, difficulty is not something one should whine about. However, if you were just plain bad at the game or just a casual, you could forget enjoying those 30 hours of bonus content. Persona 3 Portable. Portable released on the PSP in North America in 2010 and Europe in 2011 for €40. This game is very different from the PS2 experience. Daytime gameplay resembles a visual novel, with you now exploring the various locations in a point-and-click style, as opposed to the original's 3D environments. Anime cutscenes have also been cut, being replaced with in-engine 3D. However, there are two big plus points to this release. First, it's on the PSP, making it the first Persona you can play on the go, as well as also featuring the FEMC route, which lets you play through the game, but as a girl. However, this game does not include the Answer epilogue, creating a conundrum between choosing to play the FEMC route or the Answer. Now for the pro and contra. Pro. The game released on PSP and being able to play a Persona game on the go was revolutionary. The FEMC route featured is something that no other Persona has done before or since. Being able to experience the story of the game as a female protagonist changes enough to warrant replaying the game. It also adds social links for all the male characters in the game. We also have various improvements, such as being able to control your party members for the first time, since Persona 4. Contra. The Answer is not featured in the game, creating a split between FES and Portable, marking neither of them as the ultimate Persona 3 experience. The lack of 3D and anime cutscenes cuts a big chunk of the Persona charm. Persona 4 Golden. Golden was released on the PS Vita, 3 years after the original on PS2. Right off the bat, I commend the game for being an actual portable 3D Persona on the go, while also being the system seller for the Vita. These are the things added in Golden. Marie is added as a new character in the Velvet Room, as well as being a romanceable social link, and an important part of the game's added dungeon. Adachi gets his own social link. The Accomplice bad ending has been added. Some new difficulties were added. Chie's and Teddy's voice actors were changed. More personas have been added. Shichiri Beach and Okina City were added as daytime areas. Some new events were added, such as the scooter event, the New Year's event, and the Valentine's Lovers event. A new epilogue for the true ending was added. New costumes were added. New garden activities were added, as well as minor gameplay tweaks to battles and various activities. Pros. Persona 4, but on the go. It features graphical improvements over the PS2. However, the graphical improvements are less improvements and more downgrades, as they do take away some of the charm the game had. A lot of content has been added to the story. Cons. It was stuck on the PS Vita. Persona 5 Royal. Persona 5 Royal was released on PS4, 3 years after 5 was released on PS3 and PS4. Excluding graphical enhancements, since it wasn't bound to the aging PS3 hardware, Royal includes the following things. An additional third semester, including a new dungeon and 3 new characters, these being Kazumi Yoshizawa, Takuto Maruki, and Jose. Revamps to all of the dungeons in the game, including making Okumura's dungeon actually playable. New locations and activities with Kichijoji. Akechi got his own social link. Caroline and Justine can now be hung out with. Activities have been revamped. White Day is added as a lovers event. A new tier of ultimate personas for max social links has been added, which get unlocked in the final semester. Akechi is very heavily featured in the third semester. Showtime moves were added. Will seeds have been added which tie in with Jose. A grappling hook has been added that can be used in every palace in the game. Baton Pass is available to everyone without having to start their social link first. New skills, personas, and items have been added. Personas now have traits that can be passed down through fusion. Challenge battles have been added. The Thieves' Den has been added, an area outside the main game where you can view various cutscenes, artwork, listen to music, and see various interactions between the main cast, as well as play a card game with them. Some minor tweaks include new portraits, more voice dialogue, a new voice actor for Tei Takemi, the Japanese audio track is now no longer DLC, and most importantly of all, the game has been localized in Spanish, German, Italian, and French. Pro. This is the re-release with the most amount of content added and changes made to the base game. The game is now playable for people with less than stellar English capability, like the French. The third semester has the best characters and palace of the entire game. Playing through the game again feels fresh. Cons. They released DLC for this re-release of a game that already had DLC. Now the original DLC is included. The game is full price even if you already own Persona 5. There is no discount. Persona 3 Reload. Reload was released 1 year ago for every system under the sun. It is a remake of the original base Persona 3, so it doesn't quite fit in with the other games. It's the base game of Persona 3, completely remade in Unreal Engine, with new anime cutscenes, a completely new English dub, and many quality of life improvements. However, it features neither the things that we got in FES or Portable. Well, it does have episode Aegis, but that is a €35 DLC. Which is not included in the €70 price tag of the game, which means that while it is the best way to play Persona 3 FES, it's very expensive. And Fantasy has been left in the dust. I played and loved the game, but I refused to pay €35 for episode Aegis. Atlus really should have bundled that in from the start. And now, at the very end, I want to share some quick thoughts about the practice of re-releases in the Persona franchise. Firstly, Atlus puts a lot of love into them, adding a ton of new content both for the endgame but also for the base game, as can be seen with Royal. And many of them weren't even fully priced when they came out. However, with Royal and episode Aegis, I believe they are going down the wrong path. Previous owners of Persona 5 should have been given a discount on Royal, and the episode Aegis DLC just should not have happened. We can only wait and see how they treat the eventual Persona 6. But I do hope that Atlus at least makes the games cheaper for previous owners, now that it's going to be released everywhere. With that said, I would love to hear your opinion on re-releases. Do you think they are a fun way to re-experience these games? Or do you think that they are a scam?